the new Splatoon 3 chill season patch notes actually went live. At least when we're recording this, legit about 20 minutes ago. We actually got the English patch notes. We're going to break them down in this video. I don't know if you guys are going to be seeing this video the day of or the day after. I might be throwing this video up on Wednesday afternoon because I already uploaded on Tuesday, so I don't know if I want to throw up two videos within like the span of 2 hours of each other, but we'll see how it goes. I might just throw them both up and then see how it goes, because it's usually what I do. But we got the patch notes. I'll throw them on screen for you guys, but if you guys just want to tab out and listen to me talk in the background, I got the new Splatoon 3 season actually going to be going live tomorrow night. I'm not sure if that's for Japanese players or if that's for everybody. I'm not 100% sure. Usually it's Thursdays, but I'm not 100% sure. Just because the time zones are all way different. But I'm going to be real with you guys. I have not actually even went through these patch notes. I heard there was not really many balance changes. And there's actually a lot of stuff I haven't really been talking about. I haven't really been making like much Splatoon 3 content at all over the past like month or so now. Just mainly because the game's dead. I feel like Nintendo is just really killing the game with like, these update cycles. The update cycles for this game have just been honestly like just a fucking disappointment for the game. I think the only actual like exciting update for the game was when the game actually launched. The game has been out for more than a year now, and I don't think we've had like an actual like substantial update that's really added enough content to keep people more interested in like maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And that's just really sad. And coming from somebody that had over like 1,500 hours into Splatoon 2, and like that was one of my main games back when that was still the like when the Switch first released and that type of thing around that time, like a few years ago, like it's saying something. It really is. And I think these update cycles are just really killing the game. I don't think the game is really dead, but like the way Nintendo's going, they're absolutely killing the Splatoon franchise. They really are. I want to do a video on like talking about how they're kind of just destroying the game with the update cycles and like the lack of content, but I just haven't really got around to putting together that type of video with how much time I've had. So without further ado, hopefully I have the patch notes on screen for you guys right now. These are on the Nintendo website. You guys can check them out. A lot of stuff got confirmed. I didn't really want to make like individual videos on like all the new shit that's going to be coming back and like all the new weapons, but we're getting 2 new specials into the game, which is something I think that's really good. We are in more than a year into the game now, y'all, and we're first now getting some returning rework specials and like an actual first, like another new special actually. We're getting splatter color screen, which is pretty much like a smoke screen. It's an ink screen, I guess, but it's kind of like a smoke screen, pretty much what it is. And then we got triple splashdown. I seen this earlier today when they actually confirmed it and they revealed it earlier today. And I was really happy for this because I was hoping they would bring back Splashdown. Splashdown was one of the funnest ultimates and specials to use in Splatoon 2, and I'm glad they brought it back. And they actually even reworked it so it's a little bit better. You can still get shot out of the sky and a bunch of other stuff, but I got some really cool tech with the super jump Splashdown and a few other things I'm sure people are going to find out. We don't know how much damage it actually does and that type of thing, but it's pretty much Splashdown, but with a bigger radius and probably like more damage. Kind of what it is. We'll see how it actually does when it gets released in game, but I'm glad it's in the game now. The only drawback is that the kits that are probably going to get this, like the weapon kits that are going to get both of these specials, will probably only have like a limited amount of them. We're only going to have 2 that have triple splashdown. That's going to be what we're having, at least for this patch. And then for the splatter color screen, I think we have like 2 or 3. And by the time they add alternate kits that actually get these specials, we'll probably be like 2 or 3 years down the line. We'll be on Splatoon 5 by that point. That's just how they're releasing the weapons and how fucking slow they are to release content for this fucking game. So I know I'm not the only one frustrated with the update cycles because I feel like the game's just a fucking boring pile of shit that gets nothing new apart from like a week or 2 out of every new season, which is like a 3-month cycle. And it was never that way for Splatoon 2. You were always getting stuff every few weeks. So, I don't know. I like the new specials, but if they won't be on like any like crazy weapons or like a multitude of weapons until maybe like Splatoon 5. So, those of you guys that are wondering what weapons these are going to be on, we're going to talk about them. We got all the new alternate weapon kits. How many we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 9 alternate weapon kits. 9 alternate weapon kits, and we are more than a year into the game's life cycle now. What is Nintendo doing? What are they doing? I don't understand. I don't understand why we just don't get any more than like 8 to like 12 weapon kits. They did more than like that in Splatoon 2. What is the problem? And they were releasing them at more of a frequent rate in Splatoon 2. What is the problem with releasing more weapon kits? I do not know. The foil squeezer. Wow, this is actually one of the only 2 weapons. The undercover Sorella, which is going to be garbage. And then you got the foil squeezer. So you got one good weapon that the splatter color screen, a new special, will actually be on. And it'll actually be viable on. Then you have the undercover Sorella, which is going to be garbage. Nobody's going to play this thing outside of Turf War. So you got a new special that's on one weapon that's actually going to be decent to use. Let's look at Triple Splashdown. They actually finally brought back the Custom Blaster, y'all. I have been wanting the Custom Blaster back forever. What do they give it? They give it Point Sensor, and they finally give it Splashdown. But Splashdown's great, but the problem is the Custom Blaster paints like shit, and it has no sub that actually paints. You don't really need Point Sensor. It's pretty much a useless sub on the Custom Blaster. So, again, it's a really bad kit. I don't know why anybody would play this kit. Apart from playing it for Triple Splashdown, which it ain't a bad kit. Like, the Blaster's a decent main weapon. The problem is the sub is pretty much downright useless. And if you want to run a Blaster, like, you're better off just running the regular Blaster with the bubble and auto bomb. So, and what else we have? We have the Imperi Splat Dualies, which will probably be like the best Triple Splashdown weapon. I see myself picking up the Dualies again, and definitely getting into playing the Dualies. I don't know about you guys, but I've been playing a lot of sloshers lately. I've been getting back into playing the sloshing machine and the regular slosher, and I've had a really fun time with both of those. Playing a lot of the sloshers, and even like the Blobber I've been playing in Turf War and stuff. So that's at least what I've been getting into. Looks like I'm going to have to get back into playing the Dualies if I want to play with Splashdown. We got the S-Blast 91 with Burst Bomb, Booyah Bomb. This is probably the best kit this thing could have ever asked for. It really is. You'll probably see this thing being played. I think the real problem is, though, is that the main weapon has a really high skill ceiling. If you don't know what you're doing, you just get destroyed. So that's going to be the problem with this thing. But I do see the thing, if you're like a really high tier player, you can maybe make it work. Paintbrush Nonvu, finally a really good kit for the Paintbrush. I think the current kit they have in game with the Curling Bomb and the current special it has is still pretty good, but look, changing that out for 10 missiles is way better. Even Point Sensor ain't too bad because it doesn't really cost that much ink, which is great. If you guys haven't played the Paintbrush, you guys are sleeping on the Paintbrush. It's going to be incredibly good. It's probably going to be one of the best like 10 missiles spam weapons in the game with how good it paints. Sniper Raider 5B, getting a Splash Wall and an Ink Storm, whatever. We talked about these two. Reflux 450 Deco. They could not have given this thing a worse kit ever. I feel bad for you guys that have been waiting for over a year for a Reflux alternate kit, and this is what you guys get. Time to get your pitchforks and torches and go to Nintendo HQ and throw a riot, because I feel bad for you guys. Thank gosh I don't play the Reflux 450, and it's only really good in Turf War anyways. Go play the regular one, I guess, with 10 missiles. And then you got the Neo Splatana Stamper, which has an incredibly good kit. This is probably the best alternate kit you probably can ask for. Toxic Mist is really good with this weapon, and Crab Tank as well is really good. So we got another new Crab Tank weapon that'll actually be pretty good, which the game kind of lacks right now. My only problem here is, like, we just don't have really enough kits again. That's just the main issue when I say it every single goddamn new season. There's not enough kits here to the point where it's enough diversity in that adding per, like, new season to the game. And it's not enough to keep people interested or, like, shake things up. And adding 2 new specials that are usually, or that are both on, like, 1 good weapon each, that are going to be viable and used on 1 weapon each, is not enough either. Got some balance changes here, y'all. This is all we have for balance changes. Keep in mind, the game's been out for over a year now, and we are still getting seasons where we have less than 5 balance changes. What is Nintendo doing? I have no idea. You have some really dog shit weapons in the game that just never get played, or could use some major buffs, and there's nowhere to be found. And this is the shit we're getting. 96 Gal. Reduce the amount of ink consumption by 8%. Okay, small buff for 96 Gal, whatever. Solid. Range Blaster, 15% better paint while impacting with the floor or wall. Whatever. Small painting buff, it still isn't going to matter because you're not picking the Range Blaster to paint everything. You're picking it to go get kills or apply pressure from like medium range. Whatever. Dread Ringer, reduce the amount of ink consumed by approximately 10%. Small buff for Dread Ringer. I don't even think that Dread Ringer really needed a buff. I think it's incredibly good the way it is. People just need to actually take the time to learn how to play the weapon. I don't know why it needed a buff, but I'll take it anyways, it's fine. And then the Heavy Edit Splatling, increase the number of spray droplets created by shots so it paints a little bit better. And it's able to get its special a lot faster. I don't know why they're buffing the Heavy Edit Splatling. This thing is probably one of the best Splatlings in the game. Why are they buffing the paint on this thing? I have no idea. So out of the 4 balance changes we have, one of them is pretty much irrelevant, doesn't do anything. The other one's questionable, and it didn't really even need a buff. It's fine, whatever. I mean, it's fine, like, it's not a bad thing, but just kind of whatever. And then you got the 96 scale, which is a great buff. That's something the game needed. And then you got the Heavy Edit Splatling, which got buffed for no reason when it's already incredibly good. Another head-scratching balance patch of barely any balance changes, and then the balance changes we have don't really make sense or don't really do anything. Almost like every season. I say it every season when I break down the patch. It's pretty much what it is. And then we got the special changes. I actually got a change for the Reef Slider. Activation. After activation, players become invulnerable to damage approximately 13/60ths of a second faster than before. So when you're first winding up the Reef Slider and actually clicking like the special button, when you go into the Reef Slider, you had a chance to take damage before you actually formed into it. I think you have a little bit more of a chance to not take damage now, or you're able to activate it a lot faster without taking damage and being killed out of it. I don't know how this really matters. I think it's still going to be like one of the top 3 worst specials in the game. I really do. Especially because they're adding Splashdown now, which got reworked, and it's probably going to be like 10 times better than Reef Slider. And it kind of does the same thing and has more utility, being able to be used on a super jump. So, and you can't really be shot out of the sky with that most of the time, because it's kind of unpredictable. So that begs the question, why is even Reef Slider in the game, and why is that not even getting removed or reworked? I have no idea. And this is where I keep talking about, like, where is the balance changes at, because they add new stuff to the game, and then there's stuff in the game like Reef Slider that either gets power crept or needs major changes, and it just holds so much stuff back that has this in its weapon kit to where it needs some major buffs, and it just holds everything back because it never gets changes. And then by the time it gets changes, there's a bunch of other new specials in the game or other new weapons, and there's a bunch of other new problems. I don't know, whatever. Glad I don't play anything that has Reef Slider. Chet Squelcher getting a small painting buff from 190 to 180, whatever. And then the L3 nozzle nose gets a 10 painting buff. Was anybody actually playing these weapons? No. Nobody was actually playing them. I mean, I guess that makes it different because they want people to play them. That's why they're buffing them, but still, their kits really aren't the greatest. I still don't know why you even play them. Changes to Anarchy Battle. 5 win streaks. We have 5 wins in a row alongside the count. A 5 win streak will increase each time they finish a series with 5 consecutive wins. The number will reset to 0 when the players reset their rank. Well, whatever. I don't think that really matters very much. Changes to X Battle. Players with X power of less than 2,000 and players of a power of 2,000 or higher will no longer be Finally, they actually are changing some of the matchmaking. Holy shit, this might be the best change of the entire season right here, everybody. This change will be applied immediately after this patch goes live. Increase the number range that X power can change when battles are finished, so you actually gain or lose more power after you do your session with in X rank. Additionally, the change in players' X power will now be based on both their X power was before and the win and loss ratio during them. It'll be applied. It will not apply to battles during Drizzle season. So great. And then they got a chart here that shows you, like, based off your win and loss count, how much, like, you're gonna really be getting. If you have less than 2,500 and you get 3 losses, you'll lose 75% of your points. 1 win, 3 losses, 50, and then you'll get up to 50. If you're 2,500 to 3,000, you'll get minus 45% for 3 losses, and then it'll go up significantly, a little bit lower, and then 3,000 or higher is a little bit more steep of a curve. So I'm just glad they're changing the matchmaking, because I don't know about you guys, when I'm usually above 2,000, especially for stuff like tower control, I am constantly getting paired with like absolute losers that are not even around my X rank in my games, and you have me trying to solo carry a team of like brain dead bums, and then we just get rolled in like 2 minutes. That's usually how the majority of the games go. So this actually helps the matchmaking a lot, especially it puts like the X players that aren't really the greatest, the ones below 2K, in their own actual like rank tier, and then the ones that are above 2K in their own. So it makes the matchmaking a lot more consistent. Granted, I don't know how much that really matters anyways, because X rank is still a complete joke, but it's better than nothing. I can't really complain. Probably the best change so far out of the entire update, entire season. I'll give them that. That's great. That's really good. We got badges. They actually got badges too if you actually get top ranks. That I don't know why that wasn't in the game on day 1. Why was this not in the game on day 1 for grinding X rank? Yeah, oh my gosh. Nintendo, you guys are lacking. Changes to Salmon Run. They're actually adding a new salmon called Megalodontia. Kraken and Triple Splashdown are added. And then they got some new adjustments to some of the other specials that are currently in Big Run. Obtaining gold, silver, bronze will be predetermined, and each occurrence will be announced. We got new job titles. In normal jobs, when stages and supplied weapons change, if a player has a badge that corresponds to the stage after the switch, they will now start with a higher job title than before. So now I guess you don't really have to like grind all the way back up to executive or like executive 0 every time there's a new session for Salmon Run or a new rotation. So I don't know how much that really matters. I guess if you grind Salmon Run every single day, it matters. If you're like me, I only go on and maybe play Salmon Run like, if I'm lucky, maybe once or twice a week. I haven't really been doing it over the last like month or so because I just don't really care. But when I do go on and play, it wouldn't really matter anyways, because I don't really play it like consistently every single day anymore because I just don't have time. Nor do I really care to, because it doesn't really do much. I already got plenty of money and plenty of like tickets and everything. I don't really need much more. Changes to Splatfest. The matchmaking system for Splatfest Pro has been changed, making it possible to form battle with new weapon combinations. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Table turf, changes to the lobby. You guys can read through all this if you guys want to read through it. Changes to Splatnet. I got some bug fixes. I'm not going to go through all the bug fixes because I don't know if any of them actually matter. If you guys want to check them out, it's on the Nintendo website. So I don't know. That is the new season for you guys. That is the new chill season. This goes live when you guys are seeing this, or depending on you guys are seeing this, it goes live on the 29th or 30th, depending on if you're NA or Japan as well. It depends on your time zone, I think, or what game you're actually playing on, which version. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but again, this is another season where I'm kind of disappointed. Apart from the new specials being added to the game, and then the matchmaking changes for X rank, and a few new maps added, there's not really much here. There really is not. There's no balance changes. All the kits are pretty bad. But first of all, we don't really have nearly enough of them, and then like a lot of the kits we have are like mediocre at best, or just flat out this garbage. There's a few that are really good, like the S-Blast one's decent, but apart from that, like there's not really anything crazy here. It's another season that you're going to play for maybe about a week or two, and then get completely bored, and then you'll go back to playing the game maybe like once or twice a week, and then going and playing whatever you were normally playing. So it's real sad. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like they're slowly killing the game, and the game's slowly dying. It still has a solid player base. It does, but like if they keep throwing out like updates like this, it's been more than a year now, and like we keep getting these type of updates. Compared to Splatoon 2, that game was so much better than this. It really was, especially with the update cycle. I feel like it just lacks so much content, and they're just dropping the ball so hard on this game. They really are. I don't know. Maybe I just expect more. Maybe I'm somebody that just expects way too much. I know people are just gonna shovel the shit into their mouth and they'll eat anything they put out. I'm not one of those people. I actually expect a lot for, especially paying like almost $70 for the game. So I don't know. Some people just eat the Kool-Aid and drink whatever Nintendo puts out every single season because it's new content and they can't be unhappy with something that's new. If you're one of those people with like zero expectations, then I guess that's fine for you. But somebody like me, I have high expectations because I paid a lot of money for the game, and I also put a lot of time into the games I do play. And I don't want to waste my time or have to play other stuff when they put out garbage, or get bored after like 2 weeks because there's not enough shit to make content on, or even being like a content creator standpoint, not having enough stuff to actually keep people interested, or especially for like content purposes, which is another reason why I've really been uploading anything with the game. So I'll probably throw up a tier list for you guys when I do get back into ranked when the season drops. But apart from that, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with the game. Maybe streaming it a little bit and go back to being dead pretty much. So apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Overall, I give this season, just judging by the patch notes without playing in game, maybe they'll sway my expectations when the patch actually goes live in game and I actually even run changes. Apart from that, if it wasn't for that, this season would probably be the worst one ever. So apart from that, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys in a future video.